What's up guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Zax and this is Club United. United lost 1-0 to Wolves at Old Trafford to end Ralph Rangnick's unbeaten streak as a manager. Not to say the first couple games were all that impressive, but definitely this is not how you want to begin a new year, a new calendar, new potential just entering into 2022. But before we break it down, this is the first video in 22 and I'm very glad to be making more videos like this for you. So please make sure to like, share and subscribe to the official YouTube channel Club United. So Rangnick goes for the 4-2-2 formation, which is not a surprise there. This is United's preferred formation for the past 3 games. And this is pretty much the same team selection in fact as the Burnley game. Just the biggest surprise obviously being Phil Jones, who hasn't played for a United game in almost 2 years, 700 days without playing for wearing that United shirt. So it's the biggest surprise. And the way that he structured his team, you had Ronaldo and Cavani up front, same selection as the Burnley game. It makes sense why you want Cavani. He works hard, the work rate has always been good. When he's actually available to play, you want him to play, and there's obviously all these talks about Cavani leaving the club at the end of the season. So when he's available, it makes perfect sense why you should be getting Cavani in that starting 11. He can maybe get some good runs and also maybe get some good final passes to Cristiano Ronaldo, who's very capable of scoring. Mason Greenwood and Sancho up front. Bruno Fernandes later on comes in for Mason Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. Now this is that area that really is now a sensitive issue for the United faithful, because you have Wan-Bissaka and Shaw who've been out of form, and Alex Telles and Dalot have been playing most games, as Rangnick has been in charge. So now you're not really sure his preferred left back and right back, but he's giving them a chance. And they're supposed to go into this game. They know that they have to impress the coach, pretty much suck up to the coach. There's the new guy, the new daddy, whatever you want to call it, but he's got to perform. And you have a situation where they've been getting a second game, but it's still not enough. It's still not, it's still not what you want. I personally think in this game, with the way it was structured, maybe we could have just gotten a little bit more by replacing Wan-Bissaka. Sure, he had a decent game against Burnley, so it makes sense why you still want him to be in the starting 11. So this is how Rangnick is preparing, or this is how he structured his game. He's structured to win. He's structured to go there and press. His famed pressing style. So what really went wrong? I think one of the biggest things when we played Burnley, we won the game, but it wasn't our most comfortable game. We had moments of brilliance, but you also saw moments where we're losing the balls, moments where we weren't winning those midfield duels and were supposed to, especially when we've chosen 2 holding midfielders in Matic and McTominay. So we're expecting to have big presence and big personalities right up front from the midfield. So what we have now is a situation against Wolves whereby it seems most of the team are out of form. Like it's crazy to think about it, but it is as it is. Marcus Rashford, big personality when he's playing very well, big impact. We thought he'd get back to form when after his surgery, but it hasn't been the Marcus Rashford that we expect him to be. He's slow on the ball, his passes are sloppy, his final pass, he's losing balls. The same thing can be said about Bruno Fernandes, an attacking midfielder. That's why he didn't even make it to the starting 11 of this game, because also, Rangnick is trying to rest his players. He's trying to create a system whereby, with the heavy load that we had in December, he's trying to give an opportunity. And I think Manchester United got the best out of this situation, whereby we got almost 2 weeks of rest, while all other clubs were actually playing matches. That's why we're a couple of games in hand. So it was the perfect setup to actually get back to winning, because you have guys who have been rested, and he's giving a chance for everyone to get back into the team and play. But it seems most of the team is out of form. The biggest culprit of this will be Harry Maguire, the captain of the club. He hasn't been performing very well. He's dropped in this game. He's not playing. He's unavailable to play. This is why we have Phil Jones coming in. He's playing. He hasn't been playing in a while, so he's in that starting 11. Raphael Varane, new signing, incredible guy, but he's been hit with a couple of injuries, so he's getting into the game. But not saying that I'm underrating Wolves, but when going into this game, I'm thinking we're supposed to win. But from what we saw, we're not in control of the game. We lost the midfield duels, which was the biggest problem. It seems Wolves broke through a lot of times to actually get into the box. Then we have Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw these guys are out of form. The whole world has been talking about it. The whole Manchester United community has been talking about it. Luke Shaw, he hasn't been the Luke Shaw that we know. I saw glimpses of Luke Shaw against Burnley, but against Wolves, he's not running as much. Wan-Bissaka played a decent game, but that's the thing. What we have is a set of players, or what we saw on the game is we have a set of players who are capable and a set of players who led Manchester United to second position. So a lot of expectations are high. New manager, new system, new mentality, new atmosphere. But you now have a system where your most trusted players are not performing very well. So it's bad for us. We're losing balls, we're not attacking, and this whole pressing system, it's we don't even know. You can't even see. The new, obviously it's going to take time to get a new system in play, but we can't see it. The way they're playing, there's no pressing, there's no control. When your opposition are just having the ball this much and just bossing you around, there's no direction of pressing. So the thing that worries me the most is the fact that the changes that have been made to actually get back to winning ways, you expect results. The biggest change, sacking Gunnar Solskjaer. He's gotten us to where we're supposed to be, and now it's time for Ralph Rangnick to come in, instill his discipline, instill his mentality. But we're not winning, and we're not playing the best football. So we go back and forth about this conversation where you hear about mentality this, mentality that. It's a big thing. You have to consider it, because look at Phil Jones. Phil Jones comes in. He hasn't been playing for Manchester United pretty much, and he comes in, and out of that whole squad, he's the only person I can actually say his mentality is different, because he doesn't have that bad energy that everyone seems to be affected from. He's not drained. He comes in, he gives the best performance, he wins the tackles, he intercepts, he clears the ball. Wan-Bissaka can't even do it. And sometimes you actually saw Rafael Varane looking at him and thinking, sort of like relying on Phil Jones. So a lot of spotlight was on him, obviously, because he's a person that we haven't seen a Manchester United jersey. But I think he performed very well to an extent that you saw him, and he was the only person who was given instruction and did exactly what he was supposed to do. But everyone else seems, Luke Shaw all over the place, unimpressive. And a couple of people are starting to point fingers at Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think you should be pointing fingers at Cristiano Ronaldo, because the role that he's been assigned is doing it well. When you do give him the ball, because his skill set or his intelligence is about getting that perfect position. When Ronaldo was in perfect position for that 90 minutes, it's not like he was kicking all those balls off target. He was kicking them on target, so he's very capable in what he has been assigned to do. But you get everyone else who seems the entire team is out of form, which is the most worrying thing. Is we're in a position where we're supposed to be catching up to the big teams, but now we're just losing momentum. A couple of games in hand, because we didn't actually get to play some of the games in December. So you're expecting us to win, but we didn't. So now we have to look at how we progress and how we get back from this. So Rangnick has come out and said, this is not how he prepared for the game. This is not what he's expecting. His famed pressing style that has been influential in most clubs, or, which has been very adaptable by many clubs in Europe, is not how he's playing, and he's admitted that. So we see there's a problem with the way we're playing. But what worries me the most, or the opinion that I want to hear from you guys, is the fact that I think the necessary adjustments have been made. They've been put in place so we can actually start winning. They've been put in place so games like Wolves are games that were actually very capable of getting those 3 points and really getting back to because now we're fighting for top 4. So these are the games to actually be winning. So the measures that is put in place, he's heavily rotated the team. He's managed to have everyone a chance to play. That there was a game where Cristiano Ronaldo actually didn't start. So everyone has gotten a chance, heavily rotating the team, which is a plus. The only person who can maybe argue that he hasn't been given a chance is Donny van der Berg. 2 coaches coming in, you're not the favorite. I feel for him, but everyone else has had an opportunity to actually play. Fred, McTominay, So what I want to know from you guys is, how do we progress from this? It obviously takes time to adopt a new system, a new coach, but at the same time, when you're having all these measures that have been put into place to actually win games like Wolves, and you're not winning these games, how long will it take to actually get back, to that rhythm where you're actually winning, where it seems like you're actually a potential? Because we won against Norwich, that was good. We drew against Newcastle, then we won against Burnley. But, the Norwich game, it wasn't a very good performance. The only game that I can say was a decent performance. Yet those are games that were supposed to be winning very, very confident, because you're looking at the likes of Manchester City, looking at the likes of Chelsea, although Chelsea has slightly dipped, but there's the lesser clubs in the Premier League, no disrespect to them, or in fact, whatever, the lesser clubs in the Premier League, it's supposed to be a walkover when you have such talent that we have. So we have the talent, we have everything in place to win, but we are not winning. Seems like they've given up. A couple of popular pundits have actually come out and say, Gary Neville, just one of the top guys, he's come out and say they're just whinge bags. They're always complaining. The body language, I mean, we can see it. And it was supposed to be the perfect season where we actually, achieve something in terms of silver or in terms of medals, because we have Cavani leaving, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. We know he's just one of those guys whose status cannot be associated with the club, not in the Champions League. So maybe we have Cristiano Ronaldo for one more year. He stays at the club. But this was the perfect season because we had Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. We used those guys up front. They help with the young guys. Mason Greenwood is supposed to get better. Rashford, you're expecting him to be top, impressing the new coach, but that's not happening. So what I want to hear from you guys, please, I have all my socials linked down in the comment section below. Twitter, you can't make as much videos as much as you post on Twitter or on Instagram, so we can always keep the conversation going. Please link me up in your comment section below. Let me know what you guys think on how we can actually progress under this new management. Do you think we have put everything in place to actually get put back to winning ways? The displays aren't good enough, although we are managing a couple of 3 points, but they aren't good enough. It's just sort of one of those lucky moments that get us over, yet it's supposed to be comfortable. February looks to be very, very tense. It's the scariest thing ever. February fixtures are just scaring me. Top 4 now seems like a far stretch, to be honest. So what I want to know from you guys, what you think and how we actually progress from this. And that defeat leaves us on 31 points behind Tottenham, West Ham and Arsenal in 4th position. Wolves just 2 points from catching up to United. So this is the last thing that you want to see, but we are. Who knew at the beginning of the season that we'll be playing catch up to Arsenal? But anyway, I forgot to mention one important thing. David De Gea, top saves every single game, even before Ole Gunnar got sacked. He's the most consistent player that we've had this season, and I kid you not, if it wasn't for his performance and the save that he's been managing every single game, we would be in much of a worse situation. We'll be probably sitting in 13th position, because it seems in every single game we have to rely on David De Gea to pull in an impressive save that saves the entire team. So shout out to David De Gea. I think he's been the most impressive Manchester United player that we've had this season. And we find ourselves in this fortunate situation where we have a week to prepare for the next game. The next game is looking like, not that I'm expecting fireworks, but Aston Villa, we have a good opportunity to prepare for the game, cup game. He should regroup his players, get things right, a couple of big calls. We've seen formations changing mid-game. For most of the Wolves game, we played a 4-4-2. It looks more like a 4-4-2, than a 4-2-2-2. So a couple of things have to change. And with all these losses, man, Twitter has been a nasty place for United players. But anyway, it's the perfect place to engage with fans. So please link me or follow me on all my socials, which I'll have linked down in the description below. Send me a direct message on Twitter or on Instagram for a chance to actually feature on the channel. We're going to be having Zoom calls for all you guys. We actually get to feature and we actually get to hear your thoughts and fan debates, places, fans all over. You guys get a chance to feature on the channel. Let's hear your view. Let's hear your opinion. So please be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. Let's kick ass in 2022. This is our club. A woeful time for Manchester United, but we are there to share the feeling as United fans. So check you out in the next video. Peace.